Business owners, collect your customers' information and build a list. For goodness sakes, we're in the 21st century. You got to do it. We're going to talk about it on today's episode. Listen, there's a lot to learn when growing and scaling your business.
That's why we created the Business Choreography podcast, where we talk about choreographing your marketing, operations, and sales into dynamic systems that increase your revenue and your impact.
We'll explore solid business principles and discuss all things that make businesses dance to success with clarity.
We'll help you figure out where the holes are in your business and what you can do to fix them. Think of us as your official business choreographers, aka your insider growth strategists.
Remember, your choreography matters. Welcome to the Business Choreography Podcast. Michael Johnson here. Thank you so much for joining us today on Business Choreography. I am so excited you're here, but I have a bit of a rant to go on. You just don't even know how many times I see businesses not collecting their customer data. What are you doing? And it's literally amazing that businesses have made it to the stage that they have made it to, and they're not collecting information that they need to continue to service their customers. I know sometimes people are thinking, well, gosh, I don't want to be intrusive, and I don't want to have to ask them for their information because that sounds bad or whatever. No. You've got it all wrong. Their information is a way for you to be in touch with them to provide services that you can provide. You specifically, in your skill set, in your profession, in your industry, you can provide so many things for your customers, and maybe some things that you haven't even thought about. Maybe you only deliver one service or one product, and maybe you haven't even developed your whole value ladder. If you don't know what I'm talking about with a value ladder, oh my goodness, we need to chat, right? But here's the thing. If you don't get some of the most basic, simple information from them, when you have the opportunity, you're missing out on future sales and future revenue that you can generate by providing a service or a product that you are capable of doing and that maybe somebody else is not. And this is a big deal. So what do you need? You need their name, you need their email, you need their phone number, and maybe even their address would be absolutely amazing. You get those 4 things, and all of a sudden, the doors open up for all sorts of things that you can do that are amazing for your customers. So I don't want you to think of it as a negative thing. I want you to think, hey, I can grab that information and do some incredible things. Now, in order to prove my point, let me tell you a quick little anecdote, a story, as it were, about your favorite and mine, the good old Zuckerberg at the top of the heap, Mr. Meta, Mr. Facebook himself, right? They recently bought Instagram. Okay, I say recently, it's in the last several years. And you've probably heard about it on the news. And it was a big deal. Do you know how much they paid for Instagram? It's reported that they paid $1 billion, that's with the B, $1 billion. Holy cow. They bought Instagram for $1 billion. Now, let's stop and analyze that for just a second. Let's take a moment to be logical about what actually happened. Facebook, who built this incredible platform, that built this thing, decided they wanted to buy Instagram. Now, why would they buy Instagram? Let's think about it. Could Facebook, in their full grandeur, obviously, if they can pay $1 billion for it, they had the infrastructure to build another piece of software that was exactly like Instagram. In fact, many companies have tried to copy. Many Instagram lookalikes or knockoffs, people that are trying to do similar things as Instagram, have tried to be built. Facebook could have, with a snap of a finger and a blink of an eye, they could have just built that software, built that functionality, or built another piece of software that would do exactly the same thing. They could have become a competitor to Instagram. They could have done that, and they probably could have done it for less than $1 billion. So why did they buy Instagram? Well, this is simple. It's because of their list, because of their customer list. This is it. Because by acquiring Instagram, they were able to acquire all those customers, all of that list. And yes, they did get the software too, but that really wasn't the big deal. I mean, I'm sure they paid a pretty penny for it, but they had the information of all those customers, and now they linked Instagram and Facebook together. And now, poof, automatically, all of those customers are now Facebook's customers. A new market, new group of people. So what was really being purchased was the customers. Now that's incredible, right? $1 billion. And you really have to stop and think, right? Because they could have easily built that. They could have easily built that. They had an incredible team, an incredible group of developers that probably could have slept, walked, and built that, right? But they wanted the list. They wanted the names, the emails, the phone numbers, the connection to that group. And then I'm sure they also had all sorts of other plans for it. So if you look into all the advertising and all of the other things that they could do with that platform, it was an incredible purchase. So let's bring that back around. Let's bring that back around to you. And why am I talking to you about this? Because there are so many of you owner operators out there, business owners out there that haven't stopped to think, gosh, how can I collect my customers' information? Now, I understand with all the GDP stuff going on and privacy and all this and that, but you know what? I have never met a customer that needs your service or product that isn't willing to give you their information. Why? Because they want to know about more of the stuff that you offer. You see, you have a specific set of skills that you can provide to your customers, and you then, because you have those skills and you have that knowledge to create that thing, you have an obligation to provide them more services, more solutions to problems that they might have or things that they want to do. That is our job as entrepreneurs. And so by collecting their information, you are now giving them more opportunities to purchase solutions that you have the answers to, or solutions that you can provide. And this is a big deal. Now, you might be thinking to me or to yourself right now, Michael, of course I do that. Of course I do that. Okay, great. Are you utilizing it? You would be amazed how many times I work with a business and they have a list that they've never actually used. They don't email them. They don't text them. They don't actually send things to them in the mail. Just thinking, send in the mail? That's like old direct response marketing. That stuff doesn't work. Are you kidding? People love to get stuff in the mail. Just don't send them crappy stuff because that goes in the garbage immediately. So if you send them things in the mail, make sure it's something that they would like to open. Make sure it's something you would like to open and that you wouldn't grab out of the mailbox and throw in the trash immediately. This is a big deal. That is another story for another day. However, there are so many cool things you can do if you get their permission and they want to know more about your services and solutions. And this is a big deal. Now, let me specifically call out those of you that own restaurants. You guys are the worst. Okay, if you own a restaurant or any chain of restaurants or any sort of eatery of any kind, you guys are the worst. You guys do such a poor job of collecting your customers' information. They want to know. They like your food. They like your stuff. Give them incentives to give you their information so that you can let them know when you're doing cool things. You see, I have this really great barbecue place that's about 45 minutes away, and I love their barbecue. In fact, they've been featured on TV. They are amazing. Their barbecue is incredible. But you know what? I've been there 1, 2, maybe 3 times, and they've never asked for my information. I go, they give me great food. They have bands oftentimes come in and play. It's a really great atmosphere, a really cool setting. But they never asked for my information. Not once. In the 3 times, 4 times that I've gone, they've never asked for my information. what the heck? I'd give it to them in a heartbeat. I'd like to know what bands they were playing. I would be interested in knowing what specials they had. I might even love it if they sent me a coupon. It might encourage me to go. Guys, it is so easy to collect information. If you don't know how to do it, please reach out. This is not rocket science. This stuff is easy to do. And to be able to serve your customers at a higher level because you now know about them. You know what they like. You know what they want. You know how to give them more things that they need. Maybe you don't. Maybe you got to stop and think about it. Again, if you need some help, please let me know because, guys, this is not hard. But I cannot tell you how many times I go into a restaurant and they don't ever ask for our information. In this day and age, that's a bad move. And when I say ask, there are lots of different ways to ask. Sometimes you don't want to ask them to marry you. Sometimes you want to give them an incentive to give you their information so that you can share with them more of the stuff that they might like. This is a great opportunity. Guys, this works in every venue. I don't care if you're selling software as a service. I don't care if you're a manufacturer selling business to business. It doesn't matter what industry you're in or how you're doing it. If you're not collecting your customers' information, you are missing out on an incredible amount of revenue, whether it be on the front end or if you were going to retire or exit or sell. You would want that customer list. It is valuable beyond belief. So I want to encourage you to do that. I want to encourage you to reach out and let us know if you need some help. For goodness sakes, this is not hard stuff, but I'm hoping I am encouraging you and you're thinking, holy cow, why haven't I thought of that? I need to know how to do that more, or I know how to do that. I should just implement it. Whatever the case may be, I hope that helps because I know it will make a big difference. If you go and you start collecting your customers' information and segmenting it and putting it in order so that you can use it in the best possible way, it's going to change your business. It's going to help your revenue. It's going to help your customers, for goodness sakes. So do it. Please step up, start collecting your customers' information and get on board. You're missing out on some really incredible things if you do that. So that being said, thank you so much for joining me today on my little mini rant. Get your customers' information. Go do it. You got this. Every business needs choreography.
Choreography in your marketing, your operations, and your sales.
That's why we created the Business Choreography Group.
Come and join an amazing group of business owners developing their choreography to help their businesses grow and scale.
Go to bizchoreo.com/group to join us today.